Hey, this is Dave, and I'm with my brother Rich again here at the lake house. Today we're going to show you how to remove an old water heater. And this one's not broken, but it's pretty old. And we want to prepare this house to have a little bit bigger water heater and have trouble-free, so that's why we're getting rid of this one. If you have a water heater that's leaking, and typically what happens, they'll fail down low, and you'll get drips down here. This is what you want to do before you have a big, huge mess on your hands. And the first thing you have to do is turn the burner off, and then we're going to come back here and turn that gas off. And how you know that's off is it's whenever it's perpendicular to the line, your handle's perpendicular to the line, then you know it's off. And so we turn that supply off, and we're getting ready now. We're going to turn this dial with a screwdriver, and we've got this hose. We have the beauty of being in a walkout basement. And let me show you what we've done with the hose. We've got it running all this way here. Probably should stretch it out a bit more. And we've got it running the whole length of the hose all the way down the hill here, so that basically once the water starts running, it's going to act like a siphon. And that's what we want to have happen, is pull that water out. With the water, the thing weighs hundreds of pounds. Without the water, it would be down to 100, 150 pounds. And then we want to make sure we stop the water supply from coming into the water heater, because we're getting ready to drain it. So same thing, in line, the water is allowed to come in perpendicular, and that stops the water flow from going into here. So now we stop the gas, we stop the water, and now we want to get rid of the water in here. This thing weighs, the tank by itself weighs 100 or 150 pounds by itself. With water in it, we got 50 gallons times 7 pounds per gallon. That's 350 pounds of water sitting, or 40, this is a 40. So that's 280 pounds of water that we want to get out of here. Now, thankfully, in our case, we're in a walkout basement, and we can drain the water just straight across the basement floor and outside and down a hill, which works great. If you're in a basement that maybe has a sump pump, you could drain the water into a sump pump. And if you don't have a sump pump in your basement, then you're probably going to end up trying to do this the slow way, and that's just pans of water or a hose into a bucket kind of thing till you get to below the bucket's top. But yeah, the goal is to get rid of the water so that you can manage to move this huge tank. So now we're ready to get rid of the water, and this has we already put the hose. This is a regular garden hose, and they build the water heaters with a spigot, just like you would have outside your house, and you just simply screw on your water hose. And now we're going to take a screwdriver and turn this, and you can hear the water moving. And so that's the goal, is just let that water go out. All right, as we're letting the water out at the bottom, no more water can return or can supply the tank and fill it, because we've turned the handle here, and then no water is going to go that way, because there's the cycle's been broken by this. So we're going to crack this so that right now the water heater is like a straw with your thumb on top, and so we want to let air in here so that the whole water heater can then go ahead and drain. It's basically like lifting your thumb off of a straw. All right. So now we just wait for this 40 gallons to drain out, and then we'll go ahead and disconnect everything else and get to the business of moving this thing out of here. All right, we're going to take this gas fitting off. There's a fitting on the end of the pipe, but we're going to take this, we're going to loosen this. So I'm going to turn this and hold that so this fitting doesn't come off right now. We're going to replace this gas line. We're going to replace the yellow gas line. Okay, there we go. All right, so now when you disconnect these, you're going to end up smelling gas because there's gas in this pipe, even though we have it turned off. So what we're going to do is just put a little plastic wrap around this just to avoid the smell for the short term. So we can get this water heater out and get the new one in. We're going to take this hot fitting off, and then most of the hot water, I would guess, would have already drained back down into, except for right here, it would have drained back down into the water heater as it was emptying. So we shouldn't have too big of a mess here. Oh, I can hear water going. You know, we're just gonna let this run. I can hear water running, and same thing with your thumb on the end of a straw kind of thing. Now that we've introduced air into here, it's running up, probably releasing the pressure and then coming back down. Okay, it sounds like that was, I can still feel it. Let's see what happens here. And you can see how much lighter this water heater is. Before, if we would have tried to move this water heater, we would have had zero luck. But now it's just a couple fingers and you can get the whole thing to move. So that's how much extra weight is added by having the water in the tank. All right, so we've got both the cold supply and the hot exit disconnected. This literally just rests on here, the exhaust vent. So we're ready to go now to remove this and get it out of our way. All right, well, I'm doing the hard work of holding the hose. Yeah, let's move this. We kept the hose attached so that we don't have any residual water spilling on the floor until we get it closer to the door. Speak up. Okay. Push. Okay. There we go. All right. As you can see, we got that other water heater out. Once the water's out of it, it's a lot easier to move. We used a dolly, but two guys could just pick it up and carry it after that fact. So we're replacing the 40 with a 50 gallon. In the next video, we'll show you how to install a water heater, and what you'll see is our new bigger water heater in this very same place. Hope this video helps. If you got any questions, let us know. Other than that, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. We got lots more videos coming. See you next time. Thanks for viewing.